So we're back. We're back with this. Well, in the different room because yesterday we were in your last apartment.
Yeah.
You moved out like a week ago. So
We moved a week ago. It was like really easy. I thought it was going to be harder, that it was going to be more stressful, but we hired a great moving company, and they helped us do it like in less than 2 hours. We were already moved.
No, the great thing is that you were really stressed out because you wanted to look for a good place that you felt like you were comfortable and how do you say that? ¿Cómo se dice? Cuando estás en un lugar
Relaxed.
no, el lugar que se siente acogedor.
Cozy.
Cozy. So you want to feel cozy and everything. And
Sometimes we talk in Spanglish.
You want to cozy. You want to feel cozy, and you found a place, and I think you feel better than your last place.
Yeah, I like it better. And the best thing is that we stayed in the same building.
In the same building.
Yes.
So today you wanted to talk about other subjects. We were discussing yesterday after the podcast. Well, what else? Because we also talked to a lot of clients yesterday. You know, we talk to clients every hour because, you know, we have talk with people from these different countries. So they talk to us at night, at morning, or everything. So
at any time, because they have different time zones.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that is important is that you started working with us like just this week.
Yes. I forgot. I was
Yes.
gonna say something about that. We started this week. Well, really today, because today I had like my first clients and everything. So I'm really, really happy. I wanted to work with you a lot of months ago, but yeah, we started today, and I'm really, really happy. You know, working with family is really great. So
yeah, well, sometimes it can be great, sometimes it cannot be great because it can be stressful sometimes, right? But I'm happy because you have that experience working with clients overseas, and now it is in the company that my husband founded. So it is like a family type of business that we're having right now.
Yeah, that's something that I really like. So I'm really, really happy. You know, I'm starting, and I still have to learn a lot of things about the company because I know a lot about the clients that want to live overseas and stuff like that. But I wanted to learn more about this company that when we went to Veritas and we had a lot of visitors and everything, it was something that really made me want to come and work with you.
Yeah, it was great because you were going to come to visit for just as a family trip. And we had this event in Veritas Village, the community that we're doing.
It was like meant to be.
Yeah, and you were able to meet our clients and new clients that are coming. So I think it was great, and everything happened for a reason. And now that you're here in Panama, you are starting with us, and I can help you, train you with the system that we have. So the thing that we wanted to talk about today was about the clients, the purchase process of buying a property here. Because many people get very scared, especially if they don't see the property or if they have never been here in Latin America, to decide to buy something here. One of the things is that the questions that people ask, and I think it's important to let everybody know what are the important questions to ask when you're going to buy your first property overseas, or if you have experience buying property. It doesn't matter if you have bought in other places, but if you buy in a country that you don't know or you haven't visited,
I understand
hard,
because
you know?
if you want to buy a house in your same city, it's difficult if you don't see the house.
Yeah.
And if you want to buy a house in another country and you haven't visited the country, it's more difficult because and some people are really got into this adventure. Thankfully, they're happy now, but they really did it, and they didn't even visit the country. So our job is to make them really comfortable with this decision by telling them all the information that we can, and that's the most. Well, we talked that the last time that we were talking about all the questions that they have.
Yeah, the questions are like mostly what we're going to talk about right now. It is more about, first, one of the things they ask about is what is the community like, right? Where am I going to buy the property in? And if the people that are in there are going to be like-minded, or if they speak our language. or if it's going to be hard.
So what's your experience once I know you were afraid. I know you were afraid of coming here when you met Patrick before you work in the company. Before that, you were afraid and you were like, I don't know, I've been living in Ecuador all my life. So what changed?
Oh, we're talking.
What changed for you? What changed for you that made you feel better and that you decided? Because at first I remember you told me, well, if I live with him in another country in 2 years or 3 years and I don't feel good, I'm going to tell him, let's move to Ecuador. But then you changed completely. What made you feel
Well, for
that?
me, this is something personal for me. I am a nester. So when I decide I'm going to move to a place and it becomes like my home, it becomes my home. Like if I have that idea, this is my home, I put everything there, is my nest, and I make it my home. My bedroom, my kitchen, everything. So for me, it's very hard to make moves. My husband is a person that likes to move all the time, loves changes, right? For me, it was very hard to learn to do that. But I told him, I said, I want one place, I want a house for both of us where we can make a living, a life together, right? But because of his job, we had to move from Nicaragua. We were like 2 years there. Then we moved to Belize, like 3 years. COVID got us, we were there during COVID and we were stuck in Belize.
I remember in Belize.
And
you had the restaurant.
Yeah, and we were supposed to be there for 3 months, right? The restaurant didn't work out because I didn't want a restaurant there. And then 3 months we were there, we were supposed to be there, and then we had to be there for 3 years. And then that's when we decided, okay, let's go now in Belize we were in an island, right, living there. And then we decided from Belize, let's go to civilization. So we went to we came here to Panama, and that's when my husband started his company, right? And then we came to Panama where we have our offices, and we started doing also a community here. So we were doing communities in all of these countries, and it was hard, very hard for me to move so much. And we said we're gonna be minimalistic, and I had to get rid of a lot of stuff like clothes, all the things that I had that were part of my life. That I started like giving them away or selling them, because say if we're gonna move so much, I don't want to have so many things attached to me, right? But then we came to Panama and we started like getting Amazon all the time, so now we have a lot of stuff again. But what I think that changed for me, it wasn't really that it changed. It was mostly that I just accepted where I am. I accepted the type of life that we have and try to see the best of it. It did give me a lot of anxiety in the beginning, but then I realized I have to see that there are things that I cannot control and just let things flow. And now just flow. And that has helped me also to be less controlling freak. I'm still a controlling freak, but not as control freak, but not as much as I was before. I'm still working on it, but this last moving, you guys were visiting, and I thought it could have been a mess, right? You were visiting, we had to move. They told us a week before, well, you were gonna give the apartment, we just sold it, you guys gotta get out. And we were thinking that we were gonna stay a year in the same apartment. And I said, I'm just going to let it go, relax, get this moving company, which was amazing. And in a day we moved and everything went well. Like I thankfully, I don't think in any moment, I don't know if you saw me like getting crazy, but I don't think I did, and I didn't feel like that. And even though you guys were visiting, I thought, oh my gosh, you're visiting, I'm making my visitors uncomfortable. It was like...
I think by knowing you all my life, I think that even though this made you had anxiety, you traveling so much and living so many places, I think at the end of the day, it has been good for you.
Yeah.
Because you've changed. You before, I think you stress because of anything, you get stressed out for little things, and now you are that's your personality. You're not gonna change 100% because that's you. That you are a person that worries about everything, about everybody you love, but it's completely different than before. So now
Yeah.
you are more relaxed. The other day I saw you telling Patrick, relax. So that's something weird because I was the one that was, Andrea, relax.
Yeah.
And now you are like, let's say like a 30-40% more easygoing that you didn't have that.
Only 40%.
I'm sorry. You didn't have, but you were 0%. So I think that because you changing and then, yes, we were doing this and that. And I was like, Andrea. So doing this, having these experiences and adventures, I think for you, it was kind of an adventure, moving so much, being Belize, running a restaurant, and everything that you've been doing through all these years with this guy has been good for you.
Yeah,
You
and
had
also-
to work more for your mental health.
Yeah, and also that's what I think that when people, if you ask me, what do I tell my friends? I said that doing this, trying to find a place to, like, if they're scared of moving to another place, another country, I would say just do it. Like you never know what's coming, and it does change you for the better. To have this adventure, to have meet new people, meet new cultures, and moving, and all those things, all the activity that it comes with just changing your location does give you a better vision of life, and it makes you more. I would say more wise. I wouldn't say like I'm super wise, but
No, it makes you wiser.
It makes you wiser, and you
wiser in any area.
Yeah,
not
and
only.
it opens your perspective on life. So I would say that's important, and that's what I would say. A friend of mine moved to Switzerland, and she was super scared, and I said, but this is something you gotta do. You'll see, it's gonna go okay. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be with the people that need you, because she was marrying a guy from Switzerland, and she had to move with her kids. I said, you'll be okay. She was so worried about her family, her friends, and finally she made a life there. And now she brought her family to Switzerland, and they're doing great. So it was the best decision she made. So that's what I would say. Just do it. Just let yourself go and let it flow.
Yeah, and that's something you wouldn't say before. So that's an example that it has helped you a lot, because I would be the one that would do all of that, but you did it, and you understand that it was great. It was a good thing for you.
Yeah, and you pushed me. You were like, you gotta get out of here. Just go, just go.
Yes, because I didn't think you were really happy in Ecuador. I think I always thought that you were a person that needed much more than just being there. So
yeah, I was always searching for something. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you found it. You found it, not only the guy, but you found the place, the places, the life. Let's say the life, because the life is not only Panama, it's the lifestyle that you have, that you travel, that you were to Canada to see your family, your husband's family, and you've been living in so many places.
And I'm afraid of flying, and that's another thing. I meet people that are afraid of flying, and I say I'm afraid of flying, but you have to do things that scare you, and you'll see that it does give you a lot. You win a lot more.
You have to face your fears, and that's something that I have learned along the way. You've learned, like we're talking right now. You have to face your fears, and if you are thinking about moving to another country, having another life, like plan B, investment or whatever, if you have something in your mind that says, I'm gonna do this, do it. Research it. Maybe visit the country. Take the risk, because I've heard so many people then say, what if? And that's the worst. That the years go by, and then probably you spend the money or you do something else and you lost the opportunity, and you're like, oh, what if?
Yeah. One thing that I never thought when I was selling to my clients was always like, I would see that they would buy the homes and they would get the residency, and I wasn't thinking that I could get that too. right? I was like, oh, this person is getting residency because they bought this home, this property. And then I realized I can do it too because I'm investing here, my husband too, and
yeah, you have residency.
we got the residency here in Panama. And now I wasn't even thinking that that was something that I could do too for myself and my family. And now I have the residency, and it's so easy. So
and now you're trying to convince me to get it.
Yes, like it would be great for all the family to get it because like residency in Panama is great. For example, for us Ecuadorians, it's better to get a citizenship in Panama, and for other people, it's great for like a plan B, like the Americans and the Canadians or from other countries to have another residency in other countries.
Yes, so, that's one of the greatest things about Panama. And well, we have a lot of clients that are already living here, and like we talked on the last episode, the first one. We talked on the last episode, they are our friends now, and we always have news about them and their families, and they're so happy here, having their residency now, and they're like, oh yeah, I bought this house and I'm here finally, you don't know what you've done for me, and they thank you always. Because
I would say that the next episode we can talk about some of the clients, what like different experiences they've had and what they have achieved here would be good. I think everybody would be interested in that because if you want to go overseas, and invest, and there are many options for people that are interested in coming and knowing a little bit more of the options they have here.
And I guess that you could put your story too, because we can talk about your stories. We have a lot of stories about clients that you can even imagine that what they've been through, and now they are happy as can be. So you can put all your questions.
What we can do? We can interview my husband, Patrick.
Yeah,
he's a great story.
He has a great story, really long, so we will have to edit it. But you're gonna see the best part of his story.
It's the best thing to have him because he is the one who founded Eco-Villages. He's the one who started with these self-sustainable communities and the idea of the solar homes. And he lived in a boat. He lived in Canada and decided to move to Nicaragua. So there's many things that are interesting. For us, like me as an Ecuadorian, I never thought I was going to live in Nicaragua. It wasn't a country that I would say, okay, from Ecuador, I'm going to move to Nicaragua. It was like, from Ecuador, you usually say, I'm going to move to the United States or to any country in Europe, Spain, but never Nicaragua.
Or South America. But Central America, we were not really,
people don't know much about it. And
it's incredible.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful and it has so much to offer. So I think that the experience that Patrick, my husband, has is amazing, and then we can talk a little bit more about our
we can talk about the wedding.
So
okay, so if you're wondering what is your best location, what would you say? What would be the options or the things that you have to look for your first location to live overseas? Let's say you want to live like yourself. You went to Panama, Nicaragua, Belize. Okay, so what would you say now it would be the things that you would have to look through to pick your best location?
You have to see what kind of climate you want, the weather. You have to see, check the language, even though the only English-speaking country in Central America is Belize, right? But sometimes people are worried about the language. I would say don't worry about the language because all these countries, Latin American countries, are very friendly to people who speak mostly English. And many people speak English, and they also, if they don't speak it, they try to help. They try to understand you. So they're very welcoming. Check the residency programs they have. It's important.
Well, in the places that we are working, everybody talks in English.
Yeah,
we have to clarify
the communities that usually are from expat communities, but locals are also welcome. So it's just that the expats are the most interested in self-sustainability because in Latin America, it isn't still that popular. People don't know much about it. People from other countries know much about it. So when we talk about self-sustainability, we get more people from other countries that want to be in a place like this. Check if you want to invest, if you want to move right away, or if you want to invest and then move, or if you only want for residency. So you got to check which one is better for any of those options.
Like, okay, let's say the most important thing for me right now is to invest. I still want to stay, because we've had clients that, okay, I don't want to retire yet, but I want to have this property to invest, and once I retire, I will take it out of the rental management and live there. So if you're planning that, also is the option.
Yeah.
Or just for investment, and then you get another home. Like, there are people that have 2 homes almost right next to each other, so the one is for rental and the other is you live there. So there's a lot of
options. You got to check if you want the ocean, if you want to be close to the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Caribbean Ocean, or if you want to be by the mountains. And that also has to do with the weather, the amenities that you're going to have inside the community and around the community. If you want to be closer to the city, to the airport, or if you want to be far away from it, all those things are important. Also, the kind of homes, the materials of the home is important to ask about. How big the home is, the water, where the water comes from, if where's the sewage, where does the sewage, what kind of sewage you're going to have. But
let's say the first 3 things that are most important.
What I'm saying mostly are questions you have to ask when you're going to buy a property, right? So it is important to check all those things, so you know that you're getting the best property for you. So it is location, language.
Well, it depends on the client, right? Because we've had clients that ask like 3 questions, and I have like a paper with 200 questions from another client. So it depends on who you are, really, because there are people that are really not complicated, and they're okay. I just want to know if the home is going to be built with this, and if you have a pool, and if the weather is this. Okay, that's it. But there are a lot of people that even want to know the color of the sand.
Yeah, so. and also many clients ask me what kind of questions should I ask, or if I have asked the right questions. Another good question is about the HOA. Some people don't like to pay HOAs, but I would say that it's very important to have HOA, because that means that your community is going to be taken care of. If you don't pay, and it has to be a good HOA.
We have standards.
Yeah.
That's the HOA. That's why the HOA is really important, because we have standards.
Yes. And it has to, so you know that your community is not going to be abandoned, because I've seen many communities or like condos or buildings that some people don't pay the HOA, or the HOA is super low and it's terrible. The services is not well maintained. So it is an important thing to know about that.
Yes.
And well, that's all the things that I have in my mind. But if anybody has another question, we can add that to the question,
finish,
the list.
What is the thing that you like the most of living here in Panama?
In Panama, I like because I like the location, because I can travel anywhere. It's a hot. So
the location of the country.
Yes.
Okay.
I like the location of the country, and the culture is very similar to our country. So for me, it is nice that I don't feel like I'm totally away from my home country, and it's very easy to make friends here, and I like that we also get a lot of people that come from other countries. Like, I meet people from different parts of the world. So those are things that I love about Panama. And you have everything here. Anything you want to buy,
Amazon.
And Amazon. You can get. I'm not doing like an Amazon ad or anything.
No.
I use it a lot.
Let's say goodbye and
see you next time.
See you next time. Send your questions. Anything you want to know, we'll be here.
And thank you for asking, and subscribe.
Subscribe. Tiling, tiling. That's it.